This is WOMMLP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. It's the Rocket Shop. Good evening. I'm your host, Tom Proctor, and with me tonight is Soft Sundries. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys all doing this evening?
Wonderful. How
Pretty
are
good.
you?
Yeah, good. Well, we like kicking off with a song. So what have you got for us?
We have our song Nose. It's on our album Listen to Speak. It's on Spotify if anybody wants to check it out. And yeah, we'll play it for y'all.
Soft Sundries there with Nose. So let's first of all introduce ourselves. So who have we got in front of me?
My name is Alina Donaldson.
I'm Zach Wilkerson.
And my name's Maddie Donaldson.
Well, thank you very much for coming into the studio. And how did you guys meet?
Well, two of us are sisters.
Oh, okay.
So I've known her a really
I won't
long
say who.
time.
So you've known her for a minute, yes.
Yeah. Our parents introduced us, actually.
17 years.
Yeah. And one of us isn't related.
This is Zach. He's my partner.
Yeah, Maddie and I have been dating for about a year and a half. Yeah.
And how did this come together? How the Soft Sundries kind of like, obviously you two maybe knew each other first, and obviously you've all been very musical. How did you kind of get into your head that, like, let's create a band together?
Well, I got like one of those Focusrite things for Christmas, and I didn't really mess with it for about like 3 or 4 weeks, and then I just started plugging like my kind of crappy Squire into it, and started just making things on GarageBand, and it just kept going from there. And that was in about February, so we've come a long way since February, and we just got this whole setup going on, and yeah.
Yeah, it's only been about 7 months, and you guys have already got like an EP. There's a few singles. You got a Spotify thing going on.
Yeah.
It's been a busy few months for you guys. How did this big? I mean, like having the equipment. Yes, that's one thing. Sitting down, writing lyrics, realizing you guys are musicians. Is this all entirely new to you folks, or are all of you kind of like musical? Did you have you played any instruments before? Is this literally the first time you've picked up a microphone?
So for me, I am a very musical person. I've done chorus my whole high school career and a cappella, and I've always kind of written lyrics myself, and created music with my friends. And I think Zach, he was like, hey, you do music, do you want to like listen to this and like give me some ideas? And then I would start just kind of toying with his lyrics and writing new ones. And then I think after like a couple songs of me singing on them and like writing the lyrics, he was like, hey, why don't we just like keep doing this and be a band? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how about yourself?
I am not really musical. I like music a lot. I'm like okay maybe with the piano. I used to play in like 3rd grade, but
I don't know, Maddie would just wake up to me like screaming vocals, and I think she just kind of folded and started singing along too.
It is really enjoyable. I do like playing music with the people I love. So
Maddie, were you like, this is too loud, this is too harsh, I'm gonna come in with my softer vocals and make this whole thing a lot more chill?
I guess, I am not as experienced, I guess, as Alina at singing. Alina definitely has, I never realized, like, all the breath work and, like, everything that goes into singing. Like, it's very impressive to be able to sing well.
The music genre that you guys picked, Dream Pop, it's very late 2010s. This, like, TV Girl, bit Passion Pit. You guys are all far, far too young for that genre of music, from what I can tell. I mean, this is the sort of music that I was listening to when I was in my like early 20s. So how did you decide that this is the kind of area that you wanted to go musically?
So last summer we had like a really small band, and this is pretty funny. We only played country music last summer, like together.
So you guys just flipping from one genre. Next year you might just be like death metal. Year after that.
Yeah. Well, we had a friend who we don't play with quite as much, who is super influential into us playing country music. Mm-hmm. And so when I started making kind of just whatever came to my head, dream pop is kind of, we didn't necessarily like aim for dream pop or like really like know where we were going with it. That's just kind of the genre that came out of my head.
I think a lot of the like artists that we individually listen to for inspiration also kind of just like created our sound, because I know like I love TV Girl and like Mazzy Star, even like Billie Eilish. Like we all listen to these individual artists that have sort of a similar sound, and we kind of mashed it together.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this wasn't really ever really a conscious choice. It's kind of like how you guys kind of put this together.
We actually like keep getting recommended that we sound like bands that we've never heard of.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
How does, I mean, you mentioned in your bio that you kind of create a song by writing it and then stuffing it with other things until it sounds good. Could you expand a little bit more on that process? Like, how does one come up with, the last song you created, for example?
Yeah, so I'll make like a pretty sparse instrumental, just like usually a chord progression and drums from our drum machine, and then Alina will write lyrics on top. And I like to make like the most atmospheric, lush possible sound that we could. So I just keep adding pads, not forever, but a good amount of pads in every song to really get that soundscape, like emotional feeling. Like emotional, yeah.
I think adding to it too, like the person, like if I'm writing the lyrics, a lot of the time I don't know how to work our FL Studios as well, but I can be like, I want this to sound crunchier, or I want this part to be quieter, or I want to repeat this, or I'm going to add 6 harmonies on this one, and you're just going to have to make it work. I don't know. It's kind of just, we just pick things apart and put our inputs in there.
How do you guys know when something is finished?
When there's not when there's just no reason to add something. If I'm adding something and it doesn't have a purpose, then there's no point, and then the song is pretty much done. If the lyrics are coherent enough, the arrangement makes sense.
Is there ever a case where you create it and you're like, oh wait, we put way too much into this, we're gonna have to start stripping this back?
Probably the first 3 or 4 months that we made music.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times too, we'll add a bunch of stuff if we're in like a really long session, and then we leave it for a while so that we aren't like stuck on it, and we come back to it and I'll be like, oh, I don't like this part or this part, and we take a bunch of stuff out.
We're like going through that process right now because we'll have a new album out hopefully in October, November.
Okay, so just to add to the other EP that you've created in the first 4 months of you guys being in existence, how long is the next album?
Should be 9 songs and an interlude.
Okay, wow. And you're doing all of this in a bedroom of some kind? You're not going into the studio or anything like that?
No.
Okay. How often are you doing this? I mean, is there very many other distractions, or is this kind of like almost your day job at this point?
For me, probably since February, January, I've worked about 8-9 hours every day on it.
Wow.
But Alina and Maddie kind of come in like couple hours one part of the day, and then I'll work on something else, and they'll come in the afternoon. But we probably work on it together like 4 or 5 hours every day.
Wow, it's basically a part-time job. Do you guys do any other kind of music on top of this, or is this kind of your main focus right now?
Well,
We have States or the opera coming up.
Yeah, you do a lot of music.
Oh, you do opera as well.
yeah, I do. I'm still in high school. I'm going to be going into my senior year, and I do choir, a cappella, the musicals, and I'm doing an opera this winter. Never done that before.
Wow. At high schools do operas?
Yeah, they're combining my high school with 2 others, and it's going to be a big, giant opera.
Wow. What opera?
It's called Dido and Aeneas, and I'll be playing Dido for one night, and then the next night they have another group of students coming in to do it. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. Well, we would love to hear another song. So what have you guys got for us?
So this song is called Cardington because that's what I named it on FL Studio, and it is not released, so we have not made an official name. But yeah, this is Cardington. surrender, I fall into your arms. I surrender,
I fall into yours. I surrender. I fall into yours.
oh, that is-
Well,
Ooh, got
abruptly
excited.
ending there. Soft Sundries with Cardington. So tell us a little bit more about the process of creating the song. You have mentioned obviously trying to building this up, but in terms of lyrics, who's writing? Is it all three of you?
yeah.
And how does that process work for each of you? Because everyone kind of comes to kind of writing poetry in different ways.
I guess I'll answer this one. I don't know. I think for me, I take inspiration from anything. Like, it'll be very random, and a lot of the times I'll start with, like, just one phrase, and we're just repeating it, and sometimes that part, I know, like, Leia, we had this whole phrase that was repeating, we didn't even use it in the song. It just, like, kind of pushed us towards different lyrics, and I think once, like, I have sort of an idea what's going, I want to kind of tell a story with it, so the lyrics will change, or there will be a part in the middle that's kind of out of nowhere, and it just, I don't know, it tells a little narrative.
Yeah, they're like mostly about personal relationships. I'd say like pretty much every song is about personal relationships. Yeah. There's a little bit of like fuck you from high school songs, but there's only like one or two of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of these lyrics, when we were listening to it earlier on, they do seem fairly personal. Is that something that is difficult to sing about in front of, not just people you're very close with, but obviously strangers as well? Is there ever something that you kind of get up on stage and realize, oh wow, I'm really kind of like my heart there here?
I think for some of them, especially when we're making the song, like Maddie or Zach will be like, "Oh, this is about this person, isn't it?" And like if we're singing in front of our mom, like my mom, she'll be like, "Alina, I know who this is about, or I know what this is about," and I'm like, "No, you don't." I think for me, it actually makes it easier to get into the feel of the song if it is personal. I don't want to be singing about something that I can't relate to, because then I can't really put it in my sound. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you, Maddie? Do you also write something very personal things, or is it kind of a bit more abstract for you?
I'd say it's more abstract. I usually like Alina and Zach will have like a general theme going on, or with the albums we've been doing it by like there's kind of a theme or like a story for the album.
Do you want to talk about that theme a little bit?
The theme of the album?
Yeah, the breakup theme.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we haven't really released it yet. So
Oh, that's true.
I wasn't sure if
Okay,
we should
well,
keep it a secret.
So the upcoming album has a breakup theme.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't personally experience it, but but it's nice to have like a theme, and I kind of like to work off of like, oh, there's this idea of like a breakup, and like thinking about all the feelings you'd feel in a breakup, and then coming up with something along the lines of that. It's like kind of like a starting point to go off of.
We really liked the lyrics to disagree with the instrumental, or the instrumental to disagree with the lyrics. Like maybe it's like really sad lyrics, and I'll make like a very poppy like fun instrumental, and if the lyrics are super happy, then I'll try to make a sad instrumental, and I feel like that just creates interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's with dichotomy. Zach, is the upcoming album, it's about a breakup. Is it a full story arc? Are we going from the first song is about a couple meeting, and then the next one is about them being in love, and the next one is about the cracks appearing, and then the next one's about the arguments, and then so on and so forth?
Yeah, I'd say it follows that structure pretty well, but the resolution is more kind of just like understanding that people are the way that they are, and that you can't really change that, and kind of just accepting that you're better than some other people.
Wow,
for
that's a
things.
strong message to
We
have.
hope they're listening.
I feel like maybe this is about someone specific.
Yeah.
This album.
No.
Is the first album EP that you guys came out with? earlier this year, Listen to Speak. Is this got a theme as well? Has it also got a story?
Not quite as much. It's kind of just a compilation of our favorite demos. We just wanted to have something on Spotify so we could be like, hey guys, look at our Spotify.
And how's the reaction been? You guys live in Bristol, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a reaction from your peers, from friends at school, that kind of thing, about have you put it out there kind of at all, or is this kind of all kind of like digital and you're kind of putting this out really more to the wider world than maybe kind of your nearer community?
Yeah, generally we're trying to like reach an audience outside of Vermont because, I don't know, I don't mean old people, but I'd say people above the age of 60 have an interesting reaction to our music.
Yeah.
And most people are above the age of 60 here. Not most people, but a lot of people.
Certainly,
so
maybe in Bristol, I don't know.
We want to get an audience that's outside of Vermont for sure. But start here too.
Have you guys introduced it to people within your community? I mean, I'm sure you got friends and whatnot that you've played this to.
My friends know about it.
We had our little show.
We had a little show at our house, and I don't know. Our friends like post our little things on their stories. I haven't been back to school since we started, so I don't know if like my teachers know about it. But
didn't you guys start in February?
Yes, but I don't think we
We
started
released
posting,
stuff
like, the
in
end.
late May,
Yeah.
early June.
Okay, so just as kind of getting to the end
Yeah.
of the year. Yeah, have you noticed a reaction from your community, or have you noticed a reaction from kind of like, outside of Vermont? Have you kind of seen people kind of react to the music you've been putting out?
Well, we have like, for some reason, our biggest following is on Reddit right now.
Okay.
We like are doing really well on Reddit, so that means that we're also doing well on YouTube because it's easy to track people from Reddit to YouTube. But we're doing really great there, so check us out on YouTube or look us up on Reddit. We have connected with a lot of people from Middlebury College, and we have a lot of upcoming shows there that we've already planned out too.
Do you guys go to Middlebury College? I know you got the Middlebury College sticker on your laptop.
I'm gonna be a second semester freshman in the fall, and
Okay.
Maddie and I will just be hanging out there a lot.
I don't go to the school there. I used to be up in Maine, but I switched to all remote, so
Okay.
I get to be back home, which is great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I don't know my Vermont geography nearly as well as I should do. Bristol is near Middlebury, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's like about 15 minutes away.
Okay. So, yeah, Maddie, you're enjoying being back at home. Are you? Does this mean you get to focus more on the music?
Yeah, I get to do the music and then, be around the people that I like to be around, kind of thing. I feel like it gives me more opportunities to like be a little bit more creative, especially with asynchronous schooling, so I can like plan things out my day, like, oh, I'm gonna do school here and then do music, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you guys had many opportunities to play live so far? You said you did do kind of like a album release, I guess, of some sort at your house, but has there been any other kind of times you've been able to play in front of a live audience, or in front of an audience you don't know who they're going to be?
This is our
This is
first
the first-
show not at one of our houses.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm
So-
glad to think that you will.
like first audience that we
Okay.
don't know.
Well, how's it going for you so far, I guess?
Excited for the second half.
It's so great. You guys are so nice.
Very sweaty, but
It is very sweaty.
nervous and sweaty, but like
I don't think that's really just this. I think it might be the weather in general. Have you guys got plans to play? I mean, I realise that you are between the ages of 17 and 19, maybe. Obviously, it's difficult to play in bars around town at that age, but is there kind of opportunities that you've been looking at in terms of being able to play to a wider audience?
Yeah, we've been looking at some local restaurants. We're hoping to have like a little album release thing with like some family and friends at a local restaurant in New Haven.
Tortorella.
Oh,
Well,
that's funny.
his-
My
his
wife
mom.
works at Tortorella very often as in her profession.
Oh,
so-
that's funny. This is the
Our media
Tortorell's
director.
son.
No.
Oh, no way.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's so cute. All right. Well, sorry, on that weird connection. Would love to hear another song. So we got this.
This is Leia, written by Alina.
All right, soft Sundries there with Leia. So, as you mentioned, you came out of Listen to Speak earlier this year. So it's a collection of demos, so it's not really got kind of a theme going. But why was it important for you guys to kind of make sure that you got something out so quickly as well? I mean, it must have only been like, 4 months, 3 months into actually really being a band at all.
We keep going to Radio Bean. Maddie and I love going to Radio Bean, and we like going to Red Square, and we see all these really great bands, and I know all these really great bands in Burlington, and then I look them up, and they don't really have a website or a Spotify or much of anything. So we wanted to I don't know. I feel like for me it's hard to recognize a song as a song unless I'm able to play it any time and view it as a whole thing. And we just wanted to show people our music honestly as fast as possible, express what we felt as fast as possible.
Yeah, anyone with anything to add to that?
I think for me, I listen to music so much, and I don't know, it was just if we wanted to listen to the songs, we had to go into FL Studios and click the file.
We just want to listen to our own songs.
We just wanted to listen to the music, and also for me, I think, when we're making the songs, I think every day, even if we're halfway through a song, we'll be okay, can we make a new one now? Can we make another one? So I think it was important to get stuff out as fast as we could because we just wanted to keep making more.
Was it a case of you doing several songs at once then, that you weren't quite finished with one, that you were getting on to the next one and then on to the next one, on to the next one?
Oh yeah.
And then we'll come back and mix and re-record some parts and stuff like that.
That's pretty much how all of ours go, especially if we're feeling stuck at a certain part. We're okay, we're gonna take a break and work on something else, maybe start a new song.
I mean, it sounds kind of ADHD-y, which makes it interesting that you kind of have a theme for the next album, because it seems kind of amazing that you managed to hold on to one singular theme for an entire album. You said it was 8 or 9 songs. When you kind of come up with that first idea of doing that, rather than kind of continuing what you were previously doing, which is kind of just putting a collection of songs together that you quite liked?
Well, the reason why we came up with a theme for the next album is because, we as a group were just going through stuff and we were writing about it. And so we didn't have a necessary theme until we probably had 2 or 3 songs recorded, and we were oh, these all connect. Let's build on this.
I mean, it seems like you might already have, record number 3 kind of on the back burner here, that maybe there's some songs that aren't maybe fitting the theme of the album you are going to come out in October. Is that the case? Are you kind of already kind of throwing stuff into maybe a pile for the record that's going to be coming after that?
Yeah, we have some B-sides for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have some hidden secrets, and I think some of them too, we came out, we were we're going to put this out as a single.
Yeah.
It didn't really fit, but we wanted it out there. Yeah.
You mentioned needing to kind of have something tangible in order to, as you said, are you really even a band if you don't have something you can go listen back to? Does that mean with this new album there's going to be more to it than just putting out the album? Have you kind of thought through how are you going to promote it and how are you kind of going to release it, and you've already kind of mentioned that you're getting big on Reddit. Is there kind of more to it than just the album itself? Are you thinking through everything that's going to go with it, or are you kind of just no, we're just going to put the music out there, and if people like it, that's great. We're not going to go too much with it.
Can I answer this one about this
Yeah. We are planning an album release. It'll be relatively chill. We'll probably have a show at a house called The Mill at Middlebury College. Shout out The Mill. But it'll be pretty chill, and if I've kind of realized that good music will be discovered online. It'll be liked, it'll be shared, people will find it. So that's kind of the goal.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Also, we want to put stuff out there as quickly as we can, I think, because we just want to find people that enjoy our music and our type of music, but I don't think we're super focus-minded on the PR and we need to make all these posters and all this. It's more, I think, about just making it for us, just making the music.
We can find people to jam with.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and more friends,
Have
which
you
is cool.
have you guys worked with other people around the area, and how's that gone? If you have.
We like worked with our friend Carter, who is a violinist in Vermont Symphony Orchestra.
Hi, Carter.
But he like made a bass line for us, and that's about the most amount of influence we got from outside of the group. I think for any of the songs we
For
recorded.
now, yeah.
But we jam with other people
Yeah.
some days and
For
hang out.
fun.
Do you feel, are you adding to, I mean, actually, sorry, first question, how did you guys get a toehold into Reddit? Why was that the kind of the avenue that you started finding people to listen to your music?
Because you can find like a really direct audience there. Like if you post on like the r/dream pop, you're gonna only get dream pop fans, which is really nice because that's the kind of music we make. And it's also like a very certain demographic that you're reaching every time you post there. So I've realized it's kind of a really great social media to work in promoting.
Tell me about the map, too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that sounds.
the YouTube map.
Oh, YouTube. The YouTube map.
Oh,
What's
we have
the YouTube map?
Oh
I
my
have no idea
listeners
what
in
this is.
27 countries on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like a map that comes up, and the highlighted countries are where people are listening from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's someone in Norway. I have 2 people actually.
Nigeria, we got
Nigeria.
Turkey, Afghanistan,
Yeah.
Pakistan, Kazakhstan, all of them.
Some crazy places. Like I didn't even know. That was so cool to see like people from all over.
There you
We're
go.
big in the Middle East, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are big in Norway and the Middle East.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Do you? There's a lot of bands that try and utilize, Instagram, TikTok, TikTok especially these days, in order to try and find their audience. Is this something that you guys have thought about? You're like, actually, we're kind of good at what we're doing.
We do have an Instagram that we don't really use. It's mostly like for friends and family, and
It's hard to
Yeah.
not be corny for me on TikTok, honestly. It's hard to not come across as like happy and like excited, but not come across as corny and like promoting your brand and like keep posting the same stuff, which I see a lot of bands do. Not around here, but just like posting the same ad multiple times. I don't know. I feel like there's a hard line to find with posting on TikTok for sure.
I feel like for most of our like posts, it's usually something that we create. I know like for one of the like album or EP releases we had, we like did the art and we just posted it because we thought it was like cute. We did little doodles.
Very camp.
Yeah, very cute. But I feel like anything we post, it's just gonna be something creative that we feel like embodies our music.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we've got about time for one more song. So what have you got to play us out with?
We have Good Faith. This is our most streamed song and definitely our favorite too.
by Soft Sundries playing us out there with Good Faith. And before you guys go, let us know, how do people listen to you? How do people come see you live? So tell us all about the next gigs you've got and where to find you on social media.
So we are Soft Sundries on Instagram and Spotify, on Apple Music, and on TikTok. We have a show upcoming in September. I think it's September 15th at Middlebury College. And we will be posting more about that on our Instagram.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having us.
Thank you.
Come back in when you've come out with another 7 albums in the next 6 months. Well, that's all we've got time for this evening. This is actually my last show hosting at the Rocket Shop. After this week, your favourite Abby Bergenor will be coming in to take over permanently. So for the last time, this has been WOMM LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. It's been at the Rocket Shop. I have been your host, I'm Proctor, and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.